Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Smell What Coop is Cooking. Check this out. On the very first recipe I ever tried to do on this channel, it came out super slapping, y'all, but the video, no bueno. So we're gonna recreate it today, and on today's episode, we're making Baked Ziti. Full recipe is gonna be in the description. Let's go, y'all.
What's going down, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Smell What Coop is Cooking. Let's jump straight into this one. I got my Dutch oven on the stove. It's already preheated over medium-high heat. Gonna go ahead and toss in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil in case you happen to give a fuck. Once that butter melts, let's go ahead and toss in 1 whole yellow onion that I've previously diced. Let's saute that around, moving it often so that the onions don't get too brown. I want them to be translucent, so I'm going to need to hit these low and slow for just a few minutes. And once those onions have sweated out and started to become slightly translucent, I'm going to toss in about 5 cloves of pressed garlic. Now let's continue to saute that around, moving it all around for about another minute or so, just until that garlic starts to become fragrant. And like always, y'all, remember the full recipe is going to be in the description. And after about a minute or so, our garlic and onions are in the pot feeling good. Let's go ahead and add in the meat. Going in first, I've got some hella lean ground beef. This thing is like 94.6, but that's okay because going in right behind it is some hot Italian sausage. This can be pretty fatty, you guys, so I decided to get a leaner cut of ground beef to substitute for the fatty sausage. Each of these are about a ½ pound each. All you gotta do now is break that meat up into your onions and garlic and cook this until your meat is all the way cooked through and well browned. And now that we've browned our ground meat like so, it's time to add in our tomatoes. I've got 2 cans of San Marzano whole peel tomatoes. Each of these cans are about 28 ounces. And I'm also gonna fill one of these cans up halfway with water and pour that into my pot as well. Give the tomatoes a head start by breaking them down a little bit. Now let's start seasoning this pot, y'all. Going in first, I've got 2½ tablespoons of onion powder, 2½ tablespoons of garlic powder, 2½ tablespoons of Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon of dried basil. I've already pre-grated some Parmesan cheese and I got a couple of rinds left from it, so I'm gonna throw those into my pot as well. Next, let's go in with about a tablespoon of black pepper and some salt to taste. Let's go ahead and mix all that up until it's well combined. Want to make sure we get all of that seasoning incorporated into our sauce. Now I'm going to bring this pot up to a simmer, cover it, lower the temperature down to about medium-low heat, and let this simmer with the top on for 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes has passed, it's time for everybody to take their tops off and take a look at this sauce. Oh yeah, it's bubbling up, cooking nicely. It's a little looser than I want it, so I'm gonna let this keep simmering on my stove at the same temperature, but with the lid off for an additional 15 minutes. While that sauce is finishing, I've got a pot of water already boiling. Let's go ahead and season that with some salt. And I'm gonna dump in 1 pound of ziti pasta. We're gonna cook this 2 minutes under the package direction for a perfect al dente noodle. My sauce is about finished. There's a little bit of fat on top, but I'm gonna keep all that since that ground beef was so lean. Let's go ahead and mix that up. Now that our pasta noodles are done, cooked al dente, let's go ahead and add those directly into the sauce. And once we got all those noodles in the pool, let's go ahead and mix all that up so that every single one of these pieces of noodle get perfectly coated in sauce. Now, in a large baking dish, let's go ahead and carefully pour that pasta and sauce mixture into our baking dish. Stir it up a little bit, make sure that sauce is evenly coated all throughout the bottom of your pan, making sure the noodles are evenly distributed all the way throughout the dish. Let's go ahead and even her on out. Next, I've got about 15 ounces of ricotta cheese. Gonna go ahead and just dollop about 6 spoonfuls of that onto my sauced up ziti. Next, I'm gonna hit it with about 1.5 cups of that freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Make sure I get the edges and the center. And next, I've got about 3 cups of freshly grated mozzarella cheese. Let's go ahead and add that all over our ziti. Make sure we get those edges of the dish with the cheese here as well. Now I've got some fresh basil leaves. Let's go ahead and pick a few of those off. Throw them right on top of our dish. Last but not least, let's hit this whole thing with a healthy drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Let's loosely cover this, and this is gonna go into a preheated 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes in the oven, let's go ahead and take the top off, throw it back inside, crank the heat up to 375 degrees, and let's cook this for an additional 10 to 20 minutes. And after about 20 minutes, let's pull that baked ziti out, and oh my God, it's looking fire, y'all. Nice and bubbly. Got that caramelized cheese all over the top. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I give you baked ziti. Let's go ahead and let this rest for about 10 or 15 minutes before we start digging in. And after 15 minutes have passed, let's go ahead and get us a nice scoop of this baked ziti out of this dish and onto our plate. Let's hit it with a little bit more of that fresh Parmesan cheese. And there you have it, you guys. The perfect homemade baked ziti. Man, it smells so good in here. I wish you guys could be here to smell it or use that little smell-o-vision like they had back in the day. I'm not wasting no more time. Let's go ahead and dig in and get a scoop for Coop. Coop, you did it again. Another fire recipe. This is probably one of my best pasta dishes, you guys. This baked ziti is not dry. Y'all ever eat that baked ziti and you get it and it's hella dry? Ain't no sauce inside of it. You ain't got to worry about that over here. Try this one out. Let me know how you guys like it. Thank you for rocking with me for another episode of Smell What Coop is Cooking. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. I'm gone.
Bam, there you have it, you guys. Baked ziti the redo. This one came out super fire. Let me know what you guys thought of it. Let me know what you guys think of these intros and outros. Do you want them to be longer? Do you want them to be shorter? Do you want to hear a little bit more of this? Do you want to hear a little bit more of that? I don't know. You guys gotta let me know what's up. But don't forget to like my shit. Share it, friend or foe, you already know. Drop something in the comment section and let me know what y'all thinking. And we'll catch you guys right back here next week for another episode of Smell What Coop is Cooking.